found containers where the Empress Doctrines is different.
这个转一样。上面还有。上面。
划不动那指哪掉？
哎，那荷花里头那个。
已经到了。应该在清关，他们已经去了。
开关。
抽单你抽到了，抽单你抽好了，就等于在办手续。是。
这是最简单的。
等于3批户口了。肯定。
乱。
我已经在催他们，他们已经钱已经办2天了。浦东机场。
呀，这侧面。
哎，你这个人。
侧面看不着。
看得到。
帮你看一下。
就是不这样。他里边没事。
喂，上个月。
Clouds, maybe, and snakes, but the buildings continue this direction, and I just came in this gate over here where there are another 2, at least, enormous courtyards continuing in that direction, and all of the courtyards have huge, pardon me as I go upstairs, trying not to fall over, huge, enormous buildings like this, one after the other, marching way off into the distance in that direction, and walk down a ramp, walk through the courtyard here, and then pop through another side entrance that direction and just keep going. This is opening into yet another courtyard through these large doors into another amazing courtyard with many people. At this point your brain's going ow, and you can see many of the side buildings, and over off in the distance they're doing some preservation work, so it's protected over the roof of one of the other places in the complex. Obviously continuously ongoing restoration project here. This is the inside of one of the buildings, sort of a throne room or a relaxation room, and they've got, you know, some of the original decorations, I think, or maybe they've replaced some, but very elaborate carvings inside the room, but you can't get inside because we're gated off here. So there is an amazing mob scene all around of people who are looking into the room. This is another one of the stone columns decorated. This one I believe has cranes, which I was told was peace and long life, which sounds good to me. And then behind and further down is an entire courtyard, all of it carved stone, steps. You can see there's some people walking to give you a sense of scale and perspective. You can see the elaborate paintings and decorations. This is just a typical example of the underside of the roof. Sorry, there's a tour group here. This building you can see is less well preserved. The paint is not nearly as colorful. It's faded because you can imagine the expense of trying to keep up preservation for all of these buildings all around us here inside the city. So some are repainted and some are not. An ongoing restoration project, obviously. But still, the buildings are beautiful, you know, whether they've had a chance to be preserved or not. Lots of people enjoying having photos taken in front of these elaborate doors as a part of one of the buildings here. So I've seen people who have or act like they are knocking on the door while their recorder is making sure the picture turns out okay. You need to have multiple shots to make sure that it works. So I've discovered that these heads that are everywhere around the stonework in all of the buildings, these things, when I started paying attention, I realized, of course, they have a hole right here, and they are part of an elaborate drainage system for the walking area. Because if you look here, there's another head thing sticking out on the other side of that, and of course, all the way down here are drainage holes that the water goes through and pops out the dragon's mouth on the other side. Pretty cool. And now we are standing in Tiananmen Square. We've just come through that gate here. And this is, of course, the massive building with Chairman Mao. And it's kind of hard to take photos. It's actually, I've got an open spot here, but it looks like I have to. And Tiananmen Square, we're in the entrance to the Forbidden City. Pretty big buffer zone around, as you can imagine, but still opportunities for photos in between the heads, getting that right angle to get the chairman behind you. This is Tiananmen Square. You can see pretty polluted, unfortunately, but the traffic runs this way. It's enormous. And then eventually, all the way around, you can see the Forbidden City area that we just came from.